Hello, everyone. This is a presentation on the analysis of Gabe's worldview concerning free will. Let's get started. So this is Gabe's position. You can read these messages if you want, but just two things. Two things are really important here that you really need to get this across your mind. This is actually how this guy thinks. Okay, you really need to get this past your mind. First, let's just read this one. If there is a chance I will choose the bad option, and I have until infinity, that chance will happen. Okay? Keep that in the back of your mind. And keep this in the back of your mind too, right? Given infinite time, I will. And it's a universal truth, by the way. It's a universal truth. So this is just something everybody's supposed to know, apparently, according to Gabe's view. And lastly, look at this. Given eternity, everything that can happen will happen. Okay? Repeat that back. Given eternity, everything that can happen will happen. So, what is Gabe's view? Premise one, free will exists. Very simple. Premise two, the prerequisite to free will requires that each decision or choice of an action to be possible. So, we have an action, there's all these different possibilities. This is how Gabe views it. There's all these different possibilities with certain percentages on the chance that things are going to happen. Um, and then that leads to its conclusion, which is each possibility will be actualized given an infinity. So, where do we disagree? Obviously, I disagree with premise two, which is that there's like an action and then all these different possibilities, all these different numbers, right? Percentages of them happening. And then given an infinity, well, eventually we'll do them, right? This is where we're disagreeing. Free will does not require every action to be possible. There are some things that you just won't do. There are some things that you just won't do, even given an infinity. And I can demonstrate this. And to demonstrate this, we use a hypothetical, as always. So the hypothetical goes as so: everyone on Earth suddenly just becomes immortal, okay, and we live forever. So let's start off really small. Let's start off really simple. I really want you guys to get how this guy's mind actually works when he says this stuff. And this is just here, so we remember what he's saying. Okay, all these comments. It's really simple. If it's possible to kill someone, okay, given an infinity, I will kill someone. This is Gabe's view. Because there's an action, right? Let's just say the action is helping someone. Well, there's a possibility I won't help them. And instead, I would kill them. That's a possibility. It might be really low, but it's there. It's possible. And given that infinity, well, guess what? I'll do it. Because there's an infinite amount of time that there's like, oh, eventually you'll do it, right? This is Gabe's view, bro. I cannot believe this guy says this stuff. So if that's the case, if it's the case that given an infinity, I would kill somebody if it's possible, isn't that also the case with everyone else? So given an infinity, everybody becomes a murderer because it's possible, right? And something given eternity, right? Everything that can happen will happen. So that's just murder. What about molesting? What about molesting a child? It's logically possible for you and me to go to the playground right now and molest a child, correct? Given an eternity, that will happen. From Gabe's view, I will actually eventually go to the playground and molest a child. But this is true for everyone that exists. All 8 billion people will do this, given eternity. Because guess what, guys? Everything that can happen will happen. So all 8 billion people will molest a child. Will molest a child. All 8 billion people, if it's possible, right? Well, let's keep going. What about rape? Isn't that the same? Isn't it also the case if it's possible to molest somebody, it's also possible to rape somebody? If it is possible, given an eternity, I'll do it too. So this is Gabe's view so far. And you can see this is what he says here. If you always choose the good option, is it even a choice anymore? So from Gabe's view, we have to be able to choose the bad option. Well, if the bad option is always a possibility, if it's always a possibility, Gabe, and we're given an eternity, right now, we're given an eternity, we would actually molest children. Everyone who can molest children will. From Gabe's view, everyone's a molester. Everybody would be a rapist. But it doesn't end there. What about marriage? You might be arguing, oh, well, molesting, raping, these are bad things. These are harmful. These are terrible. What about marriage, dude? Isn't it logically possible right now that I could marry Gabe? I could marry Gabe right now. It's logically possible. Given an infinity, this possibility will come to pass. It'll happen. Because guess what, guys? Everything that can happen will happen given an eternity, which is a universal truth, by the way. So not only this, not only is it the case that from Gabe's view, I'm going to be able to marry him some point in infinity, we're also all going to be marrying each other. Because it's not just Gabe, right? It's everyone. If it's possible for me to marry everyone, then I will marry everyone at some point during infinity, right? From Gabe's view. This includes family members. We're all going to commit incest. We're all going to marry each other. All of us are going to have polyamorous relationships with each other at some point. At some point in time, in Gabe's view, every human being on earth will be married to each other. They will be, because everything that can happen will happen. And what about childbirth? Isn't it possible to have kids? Isn't that a choice? Isn't that an option? All these things are prerequisites to free will, by the way. If you say no to any of these things, you don't have free will in Gabe's view. If you don't have the possibility of molesting children, you don't have free will. If you don't have the possibility of raping your own child, you don't have free will. You just don't. And given an eternity, you will do these things. You will do them. So back to childbirth, right? Let's just rehearse everything. So not only are we molesting all the children in the world, everyone molests all the children. Then we're raping all the children. Well, actually, it's the case that we're also getting raped by everyone, right? Everybody in the world is raping us. We're raping everyone else because it's all possible. And then we also marry everyone else at the same time, and everyone else marries us at the same time because everything that can happen will happen given an eternity. And then all the kids that we have, given an eternity, because everything that can happen will happen, well, we're going to molest them too. And then we're going to rape them too. And then we're going to marry them too. And they'll do the same to us. They'll do the same to us. Isn't that the case in Gabe's view? Because everything that can happen will happen given an eternity from his own position. In Gabe's view, I need you guys to understand this. In Gabe's view, it is 100% logically consistent for him to say to his own child, given eternity, I will rape you. I will rape you, given eternity. He would actually say this to his own child. This is a logically consistent thing he would say. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, this guy. He would actually say this to his own child. This is 100% consistent with his own view. And there's so many things that you can do with this, right? What about religious beliefs? Isn't it 100% logically possible that Gabe could become a Christian right now? Well, guess what? Given eternity, if it's possible, it'll happen. Gabe will become a Christian. Well, actually, everyone will, because everyone has the possibility of becoming a Christian. Because if you say no, well, then you don't have free will from Gabe's view. You don't. Because guess what he just says right here? Free will requires the genuine possibility of you doing otherwise. If you reject Christianity and it's a possibility to become Christian, well, given eternity, you'll just become Christian. You'll just become Christian. Well, it doesn't end there. You'll also become Muslim. You'll also become Buddhist. You'll also become atheist. Given eternity. Because guess what? Everything that can happen will happen given eternity. Will happen. Because if you can't, you don't have free will from Gabe's position, from Gabe's view. This is this guy's view. This is this guy's view. Well, we keep going. What about ideologies? What about racism? Isn't it possible you could become a racist? Isn't it possible you could become a Zionist or an anti-Zionist? Isn't it possible you become a Nazi? You adopt those ideologies? Well, guess what? Given an eternity, everything that can happen will happen. So if it's possible, it will happen. You actually will become racist given eternity. That's not an option. There's no choice. It will happen. But no, Gabe says the prerequisite to free will is not having a choice when it comes to infinity. That's this guy's view. This is what we're dealing with. This is the opposition, by the way. So, Gabe, this is the ultimate thing. This is the ultimate defeater to your position, which are laws themselves. If it's the case that given eternity, every single human being will participate in these depraved, disgusting acts, every single human being, if that's the case, then why even have laws right now? Why even get upset when people break the law? Why get upset when people murder, when people kill, when people rape, when Jeffrey Epstein has his island? Why get upset? Because guess what, Gabe? You would do those exact same things given eternity, wouldn't you? In your own view, everyone has Epstein's island. Everyone. This is the ultimate defeater to this. It's the ultimate defeater. How can you even be okay with laws existing? Why are you okay with laws? You're going to break those laws in the future, given eternity. It doesn't make any sense. But let's move on. I've been on this too long. But I did some research, and Gabe actually talked about this before. He talked about this infinite monkey theorem, which is where he gets the idea in the first place. But he actually completely misrepresents this view. This is what he actually thinks is his position, but it's not his position. And it states this. So the infinite monkey theorem is basically a monkey hits his keys independently on random on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time. And given that infinite amount of time, right, he will eventually write Shakespeare because he's, it's infinite. So eventually he's just going to hit the right keys in the right combination, and then it's going to give us Shakespeare. Well, Gabe, guess what? Human actions aren't random. They're actually not random. Did you know that? They're actually based on prior information, on observation, on information. They're based on deduction. They're based on experience. They're based on all of these separate factors. They're not completely arbitrary. They're not just random. We're not just spurging things out into existence. We don't just wake up and just say, "Oh, what did I roll today? What did I roll on the dice today? Oh, I guess I'll do that." No, actions are not random. We have habits. We have connections, neurological like pathways in the brain that determine the things that we do. They're not random. We're not a keyboard. Our brain isn't a keyboard, dude. And by the way, the monkey in the theorem is supposed to represent random intervals, integers, numbers, like ones and zeros. That's what the monkey was actually supposed to represent. But you didn't even know that, did you? No, you just took this and ran with it. But that's okay, because this view is like completely absurd. It's completely arbitrary. It's terrible. This is the conclusion. Free will doesn't require it. The prerequisite to free will is not being able to do something. It's not, oh, well, I can't murder somebody, therefore I don't have free will. No, no, dude, our actions are based off of experience. They're based off of prior information, preconceived notions. That's what our actions are based off of. I don't need to be able to rape my child given infinity to have free will. That doesn't make any sense. That's a completely disgusting view. Our actions are not arbitrary. They're not random. And even if they were, this is the only way you could hold on to this view, is saying itself that these actions are random. It's saying that they are arbitrary. And if they are, well, then you have a big problem, because anybody feeling anything, doing anything, isn't actually them doing it. It's not actually them doing it, Gabe. It's just the randomness. It's the arbitrariness, whatever. That's what's actually doing it. So you can't even hold on to this view themselves, or you can, but you have a big problem with things like laws, or things like ideas of being happy or sad, or wanting to do something, being nice or mean to somebody. Well, Jeffrey Epstein, that's just random chance from Gabe's view. No, that was just arbitrary. He was just hitting numbers on the keyboard, and then he figured it out. Oh yeah, I'll just do this. I'll just make the island. This is what Gabe's view is. This is what his view is. And this is the great irony. This is the great irony of Gabe's view. The prerequisite to free will, if you really want to reduce it, if you really want to reduce this view, the prerequisite to free will in Gabe's view is not having free will itself. Because guess what? Given infinity, everything that can happen will happen. It will happen. Do you guys understand this language here? There's not a choice. It will happen. It's not, it could happen. It might happen. No, it will happen. This is what Gabe said. It will happen. You don't have a choice in the matter. If it's a possibility, this is something you will do given infinity. You will do it. You might do it. Oh, I could do it. I could rape the child, but I'm not. No, you will. There's no choice in the matter. This is Gabe's ultimate irony of this position. The prerequisite to free will is not even having free will. It's not even being able to choose. Because guess what, guys? Say it with me. Given infinity, anything that can happen will happen. It will happen. It will happen. But guess what? Guess what? When we demolish this position, what do they say to me? What do they say to me? Lates? Oh, you know what, Death Killer? You're being like a brick wall, dude. You're not even listening. Death Killer, you're just a brick wall, bro. You know what Gabe says? We're too in our own beliefs. Death Killer, dude. Dude, you're just in your own beliefs too much, man. Death Killer, what are you doing, bro? You don't understand. We're just too in our own world, bro. Just smoke a little bowl with me, bro. Come on. This is the opposition. This is the opposition. It's the deflection. It's the cope. This is the ultimate cope. The ultimate cope. No, Death Killer, you're just not listening. Did you guys happen to listen to this presentation? This is Gabe's actual opinion. This is his actual view. which he doesn't even understand himself right now. This guy never understands what he's saying. He never understands the things that he says. He strawmanned someone else's position. It's not even his argument. He doesn't even know what he's saying. He doesn't. He just spurging. He's just saying stuff. He's just taking the things from the ether and then just like, oh yeah, there we go. That's the idea. No, dude, you have to think on it. You have to meditate on it. You have to use deduction. You have to reason it. But no, Death Killer, guess what? We're just doing our own beliefs to see the others. Well, we saw yours. We just did. We just did the whole thing, right? Let's go back. We just did this. This is your view. We just saw your view. We just saw this. Didn't we? So now what? Now what?